separates Loki from the rest of Marvel's Disney Plus series is its bold and inspired choices across every department, and chief among them is Natalie Holt's genre-bending score. The British composer brought the otherworldly sound of the theremin back to the fore, calling to mind the sci-fi and genre films of the 50s. She also created instant emotion through the nyckelharpa, a Nordic instrument that has both fiddle and harp qualities. The result of Holt's efforts has led to one of Marvel's most memorable scores, if not the most, as well as 2 Emmy nominations and 2 high-profile jobs as the composer of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Batgirl.On Loki Season 2. Holt has doubled down on experimentation alongside her thereminist, Draper. She even cameoed as one of the band members who performed in the 1890s beer hall that director Kasra Farahani's 1893 recreated. In between setups, Holt was approached by none other than the God of Mischief actor himself, Tom Hiddleston, much to the surprise of the neighboring extras. In a rare move for a lead actor, Hiddleston wanted to share his thoughts on Loki's headspace throughout Season 2, in the event that it provided Holt with some added inspiration for her musical cues. He didn't do it in a pushy way. He was like, only if it's helpful, Holt tells The Hollywood Reporter. So he was very polite about it, and I was really delighted to have his insight. And it was quite funny because I think people just thought I was an extra, but when Tom came on set and he walked over to me, all the extras did a double take. So I was hidden until that moment. In August of 2022, Holt, along with the rest of the industry, was blindsided when the new regime at Warner's decided to scrap the $90 million Batgirl for a tax break in the neighborhood of $15 million. At the time of Warner Brothers Discovery's decision, Adil El Arbi and Bilal Falah's film was already in post-production, and Holt had spent a year working on her score that included Danny Elfman's Batman theme from Tim Burton's Batman, 1989. In semi-comparable situations, composers have repurposed their unused scores for other projects, but at this moment in time, Holt can't even bring herself to listen to her Batgirl score, let alone consider applying it elsewhere. I just haven't listened back to it. So many things happened last year, and I needed a bit of time. I had some time this summer to reflect on where I want to go and also process the experiences I've been through creatively, Holt says. I've just put it away, and it feels sad. I was really fond of that project. So it's just sad, and I also really wanted to do a film. I haven't really had a big film to work on yet, so hopefully that day will come soon. Below, during a recent conversation with THR, Holt also details her writing process, before explaining how valuable it was to receive support from the likes of John Williams. So as amazing an experience as Obi-Wan Kenobi probably was, there must be an obscene amount of pressure when you're playing in the sandbox that belongs to the greatest film composer of all time, John Williams. Thus, were you glad to get back to Loki since its musical parameters were defined by you? Well, I had never done a season 2 of anything I've ever worked on, so returning to something that was just so creatively fulfilling and then being able to expand on it with a lot of the same team was just a unique experience. I was told by the producer, "You've been nominated for 2 Emmys with this score, so a level of confidence in what you can bring is already there because of that." So, yeah, it felt very comfortable and exciting and just very fulfilling. As far as I can tell, you and first-man composer Justin Hurwitz have brought the theremin back to the mainstream. Will you allow yourself to take credit for that? I would just give the full credit to Draper, who is my amazing friend and the theremin player on the show. He's such a wonderful, expressive, and brilliant player. I think the credit goes to him. Did the two of you expand your use of it in Season 2? Yeah, Charlie brought in a couple of new instruments in the lapsed period between seasons, and he also was using a gong speaker. It's an old 1930s design, which he did custom-built, and it resonates off the theremin and creates all these mad, metallic effects. You wouldn't really attribute them to a theremin, so there are quite a lot of unusual sounds that came from Charlie just messing around. Laughs. I spoke to Hildur Gudnadottir recently, and I tried to get a feel for her process while scoring Haunting in Venice. So I asked her if she started by noodling on a cello, and she basically responded that she picked up a pencil instead and just started writing music. So in your case, where did you begin when you had to score something like the cliffhanger sequence in Loki 204?